T-Roy Cruz here, your life applications officer, in case you forgot. I'm frustrated with anybody that is a Democrat right now, or better yet, a Trump hater, mentioning Trump. He lost. It doesn't matter if he felt that the election was cheated. He lost because he was either wrong or they don't care. Okay? This is how dumb people are, and I have to mention people of color in this because I believe that they're the biggest hypocrites in this little huddle, in this little quarrel. They're the biggest hypocrites because y'all didn't start. I'm talking to people of color, as they call you, as you call yourselves. Um, y'all didn't care about politics till number one, Barack Obama. Okay? Because you wanted a black man in office because you're dumb enough to think that it matters. Like I said in the last video, which I did on my, I don't know what channel I'm putting this on. I might still be striked out on my Area of One channel, so I might have to do this on my Cruise for Christ channel. I'm not sure. I haven't decided and haven't found out. This will go on Area of One. That's where I want it to go because this is Christian. This is not a Christian video. This is politics, okay? So I'd rather it go on this channel, my main channel, which is Area of One. But it might not, they might still have me striked out, so I might not be able to do it that way. But either way, I need to say this because anyone that comes to my channel, I don't care if it's one. And I don't care if you say all kinds of dumb junk that you ain't, because you ain't listening. If you listen to any of this, I've done my duty. If you listen to just a pinch of this, I've done my duty. So, people of color didn't really start caring about, a lot of people of color. Now there's always been black Republicans and black Democrats. More black Democrats than there are black people. Okay? But y'all didn't start, a lot of y'all running your mouth. And I'm thinking of a young lady right now that I was talking about earlier. A lot of y'all didn't start running. Well, this lady did say she follows certain people, even Republicans. She follows, there's certain Republicans that she listens to. But she contradicted herself because she said she listens to some people. Well, wait a minute. If you're not listening to all of them, how do you know where the disagreements are? See, I listen to Biden. I listen to Trump. I listen to the Biden press conferences. I listen to the news reports about Biden, Democratic and Republican. And I listen to anything Trump. Okay? And I watched all Trump's rallies, mainly the ones where he was in office. And I haven't watched the most recent ones. He did one in Pennsylvania. If I had known he was coming to Pennsylvania, he went to Wilkes-Barre. Is he reading my mind or what? He went to Wilkes-Barre. I just left Wilkes-Barre. Had a car accident in Wilkes-Barre just last year. Wilkes-Barre. Oh my God, Trump, I love you. Wilkes-Barre is a city that's becoming run down. It used to be one of the most beautiful parts of Pennsylvania. And while I was in Allentown, another one of the most beautiful parts of Pennsylvania, I had to take that little ride, which was like an hour and something trip over to Wilkes-Barre. And boom, I got hit from the side before I could finish my tour and really see what was left of the beautiful city. Trump is my man. Why would he go to Wilkes-Barre? Is he reading my mind? Why would he go to Wilkes-Barre? Wilkes-Barre is not that big of a city. It's just a little hit town. What's he expecting to get from Wilkes-Barre? Oh, maybe he thinks he's going to find some people there that might be just 1% of the population that has common sense. Lemon water, not bad. I'm going to say something, and I'm not going to hold you long, because I'm a little disgusted today. I'm frustrated. I'm frustrated because a lot of people, especially people of color, because when I talk to white people, and we get into a debate about Trump, they want to hear what I have to say. Because, first of all, even though, you know, some of them, they hate Republicans. But, you know, or they hate the Republican Party, or they hate some of the so-called right-wing stuff that shows up on television or shows up in the White House, whatever. Okay? I can talk to a white person and we can be Democrat and Republican. And we can argue in a peaceable way, and he'll let me talk and I'll let him talk, and I'll ask him questions and he'll ask me questions. Can't do that with people of color. And then you got these people that walk around talking about F Trump, F Trump, screaming F Trump. Got t-shirts already. Man wasn't even in office before they got t-shirts that said F Trump. I'm thinking that was awfully quick. He just got in office. Didn't give the man a chance to do nothing wrong before they made t-shirts for everybody called F Trump. Because somebody out there told you something and you ran with it. Because you don't believe, because they never, and this is the crap. This is the crap. This is the crap right here. This girl tried to tell me today that, oh, well, Trump said this, and Trump said that, and then did you hear what they said? And did you hear what they said? And, you know, okay. And I told her like this. If I say something offensive to you, you really don't care what you say offensive to me back, right? She says, you darn right. Well, duh. Okay? You know what I'm saying? Now, they say that there's a certain way that you have to present yourself in your speech in the White House. But that goes for everybody, not just Trump. I try to explain that to her. Biden's been talking. He talked trash. He shouldn't even mention, he had no business mentioning Trump in this last speech that he just did. There was no reason to even mention Trump. Again, Trump's not in office. Trump don't owe nobody squat right now because Trump lost. You won. You are officially the president of the United States, going on 2 years now. Mr. Biden, you can't sit there and blame Trump for your nonsense. Everybody knows the economy is failing because of your nonsense. And you keep bringing up this man because you don't have a speech. You don't know what to say other than, where is my medication? I'm feeling sleepy. I need to go back down to the basement. You don't know what you want to say. So it's easy to say something you heard Pelosi say, or you heard something somebody said to you, and I'll just quote that. And Trump, hold up. Trump? Trump? Seriously? Should have never even mentioned his name. It was very childish, immature, and stupid of you to mention his name. Anybody who thinks that Trump was a perfect president might be exaggerating. But anybody who felt that Trump was the worst president we ever had is an idiot. And anybody that thinks that Trump, what he tried to do in office and what he did do and complete in office, for anybody to say that it didn't happen and that nothing happened while he was in office, you're an idiot. And I told this girl the things that went down that I know, that I witnessed, that I tested while Trump was in office. This woman of color. She gonna try to tell me that what I discovered and what I found out and what happened to me, I'm interpreting it wrong. And then she tried to act like I'm lying. I'm exaggerating somewhat. Because she was so busy casting hate on the man, she wasn't calculating nothing. Okay? It ain't her job to calculate. She's not a Republican. I am. Okay? But there is one thing. One thing exposes the whole thing. Everything that's been going on. There's one thing, and I can close right here. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to be done. I'm not going to hold you long because this is the one thing. And when this happened, I knew that Trump was more than just another white man running for the Republican Party. I knew he was different, and I knew he was huge, and he was a big fear for a lot of people that have an agenda. Oh, Lord, they had an agenda. And he came in there and interrupted their agenda. Do you remember, do you recall? Here it is. And don't act like she did today. I did, why would you say, well, I don't know if it... Okay, did you watch the news at that time? Do you remember? Do you recall? And I had to look it up on the internet and pinch myself to make sure I'm the only one that's concerned. Even my man Brandon Tatum isn't mentioning this. But I remember, because this is what made me decide that whatever is wrong with Trump, I'm going to let him play his thing out before you prove squat to me. Because, like I've been saying in the last 3 videos, they're not after Trump, they're after us. But listen to this. And here's how I know. Remember, before Trump got in office, he was doing rallies. Remember that? He was running for President of the United States. He was campaigning. And he was doing rallies in various parts of the country. He went to Kentucky. He went to New York. He came here. He came here to Pittsburgh. That was later after he got elected. He came here to Pittsburgh. He went to Florida. He went to Florida. He went to Texas. He went to Minnesota. He went to a lot of places. And the majority of these places he went to, there were people that were attacking Trump supporters while they waited in line to get into the rally. Do you remember this? This was before he was officially president of the United States. And there were people in these news programs saying, well, Trump's coming in and he's bringing adversity. That's the word back then, adversity. He's disturbing the peace. He's bringing in wars and adversity. Why? Because he's doing a rally about making America great again. And these people were listening to the news, I guess, and they were actually attacking supporters. Why were they attacking supporters? Because they were being brainwashed to think that the supporters wanted more than what Trump had a right to instill. Let me say that again. They felt they were being brainwashed by the media to believe that the supporters wanted more than what was being said in the rallies. Like, we got some hidden meetings before and after the rallies that we're having about what we're going to do about immigrants and what we're going to do about black folks and what we're going to do about, you know what I'm saying? And there was nothing mentioned out of Trump's mouth or at any rally, private or public, that had anything to do with black people. Black people is in the same predicament that they were in when Obama was in office. Even better, because Trump actually knew how to make the deals necessary, negotiate necessary to do something for the so-called black community. My feelings are I don't care about it because they ain't going to do nothing but tear it up. They don't appreciate it. Just like all these people that are saying he ain't done squat. Okay. Okay. Trump was being attacked verbally and unprecedented. Supporters were being attacked unrighteously and immorally and violently. Before, underline capital B, capital E, capital F, capital O, capital R, capital E. This is why you can't tell me squat about, well, he said this, he said that, he said that, he said that. Excuse me, ma'am? Would they let his little orange button office for then? If the Democrats really care about him being a racist, or they really care about your black behind, of being delivered from racism, why they let racist man Orange in the office? They had time to stop. How the heck did he win? So you're telling me that Trump won because he's rich? He won because he's white. He won because of his father. He won because he was manipulative and he threatened somebody and the Proud Boys was going to get him are you kidding me? He won because whoever the whistleblowers are in the Supreme Court, in Congress, or whomever, whether they're either playing a fat game with us or they could not deny him his right to be president, being he had the vote. Okay? Because he did nothing wrong. If Trump was really that bad before, and everything you're saying now, you said before he even became president. But when he was doing The Apprentice, everybody loved that show. And those that didn't love that show never expected him to try to become president. But all of a sudden, y'all want to act like the minute he stepped foot in a campaign, all of a sudden y'all been knowing for years. Y'all been trying to keep from being president since he was born. No, you haven't. You've been listening to nonsense. And nonsense got you by the balls. You can't even turn around and think for yourself. That's what's going on. In no time, and here's the question for you. Here's the question for you. Name a time in history when supporters of the Republican or Democrat president was attacked while trying to go in a rally all over the globe. If you know of such event, let me know. I will investigate it and learn from it because I don't want to be wrong. But I don't recall any time in history when a man is in the rally and he's shaking everybody's hand and he got the flag up and he got the patriotic people in there and he got both Democrats and Republicans, showing up at the rally to see what he's going to say. Or should I say Democrats sneaking in there. Okay? To see what he's going to say. But somehow these people were either paid or these people were spoken to some things that were not true, and there was so much anger that they felt that why would they attack if I'm a victim, and that's the way a lot of people of color talk to me. I'm a victim of the Trump train. I'm a victim of the Trump train. That's how they talk to me. I'm a victim of the Trump train. Well, if I'm a victim of the Trump train, if it's that the elevator ain't reaching the top floor, why are you trying to harm me and hurt me instead of save me? Even people that I work with that are anti-Republican, they're Democrats, okay? Black Democrats. And they're Trump haters. They feel that they have to be Trump haters because they're black. Not because Trump said anything against black people. Not because Trump did anything wrong to black people. They're just taught that through politics. They're taught that more than white people, that as black people, you definitely have to hate on Trump more than any other race. You have to hate on Trump. And it's just the most stupidest thing ever, okay? But even people I work with will tease me. And you laugh at the fact that I can't wear a Trump hat in Pittsburgh. If I decide to go out there and put on America First shirt or a Make America Great Again shirt, it don't even have to say Trump. It's just going to say America First. Or, a shirt with a flag on it. Or, I had last year's Independence Day. I had on a shirt with a flag on it, and people were looking at me like, "Who you think you are?" Looking at me with that attitude. Look, it had me making me nervous. I thought I was going to get lynched in broad daylight. And it was just a shirt with a flag on it. I did not get it from anything Trump. It was a shirt that was sitting there at Target, and I bought it because I bought it for the holiday. It was a holiday shirt. Okay? But now I guess Democrats don't celebrate anything with a flag on it. That would be just wrong. That's a Trump thing. Now, the flag is a Trump thing. I don't know. But I've had people ask me, why you got that flag in your window? Why you got the flag on your shirt? What you trying to say? I love my country. Or can a Democrat say that he loves his country? I don't know. Can a Democrat salute the flag? I don't know. Talk to me. But before this man got in office, They were already hating on him before he even got the words out his mouth. Before he even made it into the office, they was already not only trying to stop him with lies and rhetoric, but worse yet, they were attacking us. It's not about him, it's about us. They can't touch him. They were attacking us. If I had been there, I'd be dead or in jail. Somebody just coming up to me saying, "Oh, you think you're a Trump supporter," and start swinging at me or whatever, and then, they trying to beat the crap out of me in a line or whatever, just starting stuff with me, you know. And there's been just as many riots and fights and attacks in stores and so forth over Donald Trump as there has been for black on black stuff, black on white stuff. You know, it's just crazy. But first of all, people don't understand that if you're not qualified to get in the office of the president, you won't get in the office of the president. You won't even be there for anybody to vote for you. For Trump to be able to be voted for Trump's face to even show up as campaigning for president, he had to already be validated to be running for president. Now that he's validated, it's up to his vote now. It's up to the vote. Especially since the last president was a Democrat. Now we're back to the Republican president. He doesn't need that big of a stretch to win because it's the Republicans' time to win. Okay? It's kind of like a game. You play home team and off team. Home team has more privileges than the off center team. So the Republicans are the home team right now. They're in home plate. Okay? So it doesn't take that big a stretch to win if you get the votes. It doesn't take that much of a stretch to win if you've been validated to even be voted for. This proves everything. This proves everything. So, being they hated this man and they hated his people before he ever got in office, because they knew he was running and he probably would win. How did they know that? Okay? But they did. And then, all the rhetoric about he said, she said, he said. Look here. We do it at work every day, regardless of what walk of life we're in, what type of career that we have. We do it every day. We talk trash on people we work with, and it gets back to us, so we talk trash right back. People talk trash to us, we talk trash to them. Ain't nobody getting fired, because then you'd have to fire, to be fair, you'd have to fire both sides. Or you would fire the one that went to the extreme and just went on a malicious craziness, a little crazy train to get to the other one. Okay? He just wouldn't let up. It's the same thing in the White House. The thing is, though, we didn't roast people in the White House until Barack Obama. We didn't, uh, you know, we didn't, get in each other's face with the rhetoric, with the, you know, um, I dare you to push me out of your face kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? We didn't dare, say stuff like that in, you know, I don't recall them talking about George Bush like that. They said some bad things about George Bush, but not as bad as they done Trump. And Bush didn't retaliate as good as Trump did. Okay, but I know that Trump might not be perfect. He might not be the perfect Christian. I'm sure he's not. And he might not be even perfect at what he himself does. But I believe in my book, well, I know in my book, he will go down as the best president that I've ever voted for. In my 50, not 50, but in my 80, 90, whatever it'll be, time here on earth, not so many years on earth. He'll he'll be the best president I ever voted for. Now, I didn't vote for the Republicans before George Bush. I didn't even vote for his dad. Okay? Um, I voted for George Bush, and that's around the time I actually became a Republican. When we went from Clinton to Bush. I think it was Clinton to Bush, wasn't it? But Bill Clinton was such an idiot, and at that time, I really didn't know the difference between the parties. And then when it was explained to me, I knew that I'm a Republican. I've been a Republican all this time and didn't even know it. And now I'm going to start voting Republican. But there's no way that Trump is as bad as we make him, because this is all about an agenda that he interrupted. This is all about the timing, and this is all about a time when we are so malicious and hateful that we try to control other people, and whatever their worldview is or whatever their political views are, we try to control them, even up to the point of violence and murder. We try to control people. The Mar-a-Lago thing. What other president went through such a thing unless he really did something really bad? I mean, what they put this man through is totally not American. What they put Donald Trump through is totally un-American. I can understand in some foreign barbaric country, prime ministers, the former prime minister fighting with the new prime minister, whatever, they're going to go out in blood or something. But this is America. You want to say that Trump's policies and his tactics deserve all this Twitter and YouTube and all this, you know what I'm saying, fake news. But yet, when he does something positive, it's either covered up or it's spoken about negatively when it's a good thing, when it's actually a good thing. For example, there's no reason for anybody to come into this country without being vetted in, without being weaned in. You don't just walk in somebody's house. Wake up. You don't just walk in somebody's house and say, hey, we saw the door open, so we just moved our stuff in. You know what I'm saying? You don't do that. But see, when you talk to Democrats about this, they don't say, "Oh, yes, you do." They just make excuses. Why it's got to be this way? And then they say, "Well, you know what Trump did at the border." This little woman tried to tell me some junk today about he did something to the Puerto Ricans. I'm thinking, you making stuff up as you go along. What did he do to Puerto Rico? Did Puerto Rico didn't do to itself? Well, Puerto Rico is part of the United States. Yeah, I know that. So, oh, so all of a sudden, black folks care so much about Puerto Ricans and Mexicans. Who are you kidding? Stop! When? Oh, God. Before Donald Trump, I never heard a black person say anything about these poor Mexicans, these poor Puerto Ricans, or any immigrant in this country. They beating the snot out of Indians and beating them in their stores and robbing them and they beating up on Asian people and they hanging out with Mexicans, okay, and using Mexicans for cheap labor. And hanging out with Puerto Ricans, going to Puerto Rico, learning the language, hanging out with Puerto Ricans, hooking up with Puerto Rican chicks. I mean, come on, man. But all of a sudden, Donald Trump shows up. They got y'all thinking that he did. Oh my God. It's all a lie. If the crap that they're throwing at Donald Trump and trying to make it politics and trying to make it righteousness, if it is good, my birth is a lie. My name's not DeRoy Cruz. I'm not your life applications officer. I'm not even here. I'm not making this video right now. I swear to God I know for sure that this man has been set up over and over and over again. This thing was rigged before he even got in office because they knew that 1, 2, 3, 4, hold up. No other Republican has done that before. But can a Republican president do that? Is it okay for the Republican president to do that? Yeah, but hold up. No other Republican has done that before. But wait, can he do that? Is he allowed to do that? Is it legal? I know, but listen, no other Republican, I know, but is it legal? Can a Republican president do that? Okay then. Sorry if Bush didn't do it. Sorry if other Republican presidents never did it going back in history. But just because Trump did it and no one was expecting it, that doesn't make him a criminal. That just means that he's going to use his rights as the Republican Party to do what he has a right to do as a Republican Party. That's why this ridiculous speech that Biden just gave, he didn't just attack Trump, he attacked Republicans, period. Because for once in history, Republicans are going back to being real Republicans. And y'all idiots can't take it. So what do? Well, you're not the idiots. The people that you're listening to, well, you are the idiots, but the people you're listening to are smarter. They're tricking you and fooling you into believing that this man is the biggest criminal that ever happened to politics, but yet the whistleblower continues to shut his mouth. The whistleblower continues not to jail Trump or make Trump, take away rights from Trump or anything. They just keeps taking him to court. He wins himself in court, just like a lot of these Democrat presidents. They can't do it to Trump unless they start doing it to the Democrats as well. You have been played. They're playing you. They know that they're not going to get Trump. This is all news. They know they're not going to do anything to Trump. They know Mar-a-Lago was going to blow up in their face. But they did it anyway. They knew that, you know, he did nothing wrong. But because it ruins and it dilutes their agenda, which is bigger. Like I said, I did a video about it's more about the time we're in than it is about Trump. Okay? Because Trump diluted their agenda. Because he knew what they were up to. And instead of just playing it off like other Republicans did and going home to his wife and saying, that's a shame. That's a shame what they do. No, he said they ain't doing it. They ain't doing it on my watch. And that's why they hate this man. Because he's, you know, that's just like, you know, a person becomes a cop. And there's a such thing as too good of a cop. Okay, you want to see a cop get shot real fast, let him go out on a night beat and actually hang out in the places where all the drugs and prostitution and shootings and that are hanging out. Let him park his car there and see if somebody don't try to shoot him in his car. You want to see a cop get killed, let him go and hang out in the places where all the crime is done, whether it be night or day. Let him stand up to people to get away with crime. And see if these mob bosses don't try to isolate them, don't try to assassinate them. It ain't no different for Trump than it is for anybody else. This man is hunted down and targeted because he's doing the right thing. The only thing he's doing wrong is he's interrupting an agenda, which there should be no agenda. But there is. And Trump said, not on my watch. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I am DeRoy Cruz. I am your life applications officer. Probably going to do a part 2 because I meant to write it down, but I didn't have time. There's some other things I wanted to say. I can't think of them right now, but I will. I will. And I'm only concerned about those that care. If you don't care, don't watch this video. If you don't care, I don't care if you watch this video or not. I don't care. Okay? If somebody cares, if you care about peace, if you care about, you know, Republicans and Democrats coming to a common place where we can agree. If you care about my rights as much as I care about your rights, let's talk. Talk to me. And I looked up, you little slick shot, the one that said, hey DeRoy, in my last video I did, I think it was on my Cruz for Christ channel. He said, hey DeRoy, did you, what about the Trump trucks? So I looked them up. The Trump trucks were shot at. Someone tried to attack people for coming into their town in these Trump trucks. But so far, there is no news about these Trump trucks, these MAGA trucks, harming or attacking anybody. If I'm wrong, show me the footage. If I'm wrong, show me the footage. But even if you did show me the footage, those are just one group out of many that push the button too far, and that goes for both parties. There's just people that go, oh, you know, there's people that are in politics don't really know what it's all about. So this is what they do. Just like there's Democrats that don't listen and they just hate. Well, there's Republicans that don't listen, they just hate, and they think that for you to be a Democrat is to be, you know, violent. They think you're a menace to society, okay? And that's not necessarily always true either. But if you can prove that there were mega trucks that were going around harassing people or doing any damage to people, let me know. I want to know. I want to know the footage. Show me the footage. In Jesus' name. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you for watching. Talk to you shortly. Again in a minute or in a few days. God bless.